Dude. Psychedelic Sunday. Welcome back, troglodytes, to the Trogly's Guitar Show, your daily dose of guitar information. I would have never in a million years thought to design a Les Paul like this, but now that I've seen it, it's kinda cool, so I have to share it. This is the Gibson Custom Shop Les Paul Standard Psychedelic Art Guitar. Now, why does this thing even exist? Because clearly there's a very limited audience. It has alternating colors of dark blue, light blue, green, yellow, red, and purple. And it's built upon this whole psychedelic design, which when you look at it up close like this, it's like, okay, it's just a super colorful guitar. But then when you take a step back, it becomes this fizzled mess. It could actually be like a horror story guitar. TV static. And it might even make you a little bit dizzy, but it's gonna do one thing, and it's going to draw you in. Now, I did a little bit of digging, and I finally figured out why this thing was made. It was for the Dallas International Guitar Festival. It was just meant to be an attention-getter piece, and it was done up for the 2019 show. I found this blog on menga.net, where you can see it in the Gibson booth. And it just looks like a fake guitar in these photos. Like, it just seems like a paper cutout, like made of plastic or something. However, I assure you, it is a real guitar, and this is the guy that hand painted it. Unfortunately, the blogger forgot his name, so if somebody can identify this man to give him credit of just how long it probably took to make this piece, definitely leave a comment down below. But let's go ahead and dive into this art piece and try not to get too dizzy. So as a base model, this is a custom shop standard. On the Facebook group that I found this on, it was advertised as a 57 reissue. However, Gibson has since sold it to the Tone Shop in Dallas, Texas, where you can find it for sale today. And they just have it listed as a custom shop Les Paul. So zooming into the body, as we were talking about, it's just alternating color patterns that keep repeating. That's what makes this whole visual distortion effect, and it's kind of in a circled pattern. So it goes from the toggle switch and keeps going around and around and around, and then it just gets so distorted, it just messes with your head. But not only is the finish this pattern, but at the same time, the binding has also been painted over. If there actually is indeed binding on here, which I bet there is. But then from a different angle, you can see that the pickup rings, the covers, as well as the bridge and tailpiece are also painted in this same design. So it doesn't matter at which angle you view this thing from, it will still have the desired effect here. And that's pretty cool because it must have took a while to get all of the angles just right. You'll also notice that the artist took the time to also do the switch tip. And if that's not enough for you, even the strings were color-coded to go with this whole design. The only thing that was left out was right here, the tailpiece studs. The knobs, they decided just to go clear. I'm not sure if I agree with that decision or not, but I can't really think of anything else that would go with this. So clear is probably the next best thing as compared to painted knobs. But now moving from the front of the body to the fretboard. This is just amazing to me because they've painted over the edges of the fretboard as well as the nibs and the entire fretboard surface. So I'm curious what kind of wood the fretboard is actually made out of, because sometimes when Gibson does something like this, they'll use a phenolic fretboard, kind of like you'll find on the Snow Falcon models. So they would have had to have finished over it, so I bet it would feel close to a maple fretboard in the way it feels. Now they didn't do the paint on the frets, but honestly, does it ruin the illusion at all? Not in photos at least. And as soon as you would start playing it, the paint would just rub off anyways. But now, my favorite feature of this guitar. This goofy headstock. Here you can see those colored strings more clearly, but the truss rod cover just completely blends into the headstock veneer, and the tuners, the beautiful, magnificent tuners, are also colored. Now, I was thinking that they did custom tips for this in plastic, but now that I think about it, they probably just painted it. And it's kind of an interesting choice that they left the nut blank. I think it kind of works. I find myself missing the Les Paul silkscreen though. I think they still should have done that over top of that. But that big, bold Gibson logo just staring at you, I dig it. Moving on to the back of the headstock, you can see they custom wrote the serial number on it within the individual cells of colors. CSPA1, standing for Custom Shop Psychedelic Art 1. So, do they want to do some more of these? I don't know, but I love the way that they painted the backs of the tuners even. And they still put the Gibson Custom Shop decal there. And they also continued the pattern onto the back of the neck, also on the sides of the body and on the back of it. There's like nowhere that this illusion is broken. And the craziest thing for me is the control plates have literally just disappeared in this design from this angle. You could just barely make out the screws. If they would have colored those in too, it would be invisible. Heck, from this angle, I can't even see the screws. Man, I love this. I think it would have also been cool if they would have rounded off the edges of the guitar and also gave it like the access heel joint. That way the guitar would be a little bit more rounded so they could continue the design seamlessly, perfectly. I mean, this is pretty good, right? But you can see it's definitely not a complete matchup. Now that you've seen the photos of this guitar, I bet you're wondering, how much is it? Well, it can be yours for the whopping price of $10,000, down from $14,000. For a unique one-off custom Gibson, do I think they're too far off? No, not really. I can honestly see somebody paying close to that, maybe in that $7,000 to $8,000 range, just because, you know, it's something quirky, it's a wall hanger, it's a conversation starter. However, I think it would be a fun art project to lay this out and do it yourself. I mean, you could just start with like any Epiphone model if it's just going to be wall decoration anyways, if you're talented enough, because I mean, take a look at these designs. That would not be easy to get it to look uniform and perfect, so there was definitely a lot of talent that went into this. You could probably pay an artist $1,000 for him to do this too. I'm sure we'll start to see like full body decal stickers of this design available if this video goes viral or something. I did reach out to the shop to see if they would be interested in a full review and demo on this guitar, or at least provide me some video footage of it for the Rock or Not, but unfortunately, I never heard from them. For our playing demo today, I'll just show you another custom shop standard. Question left, would you rock the Psychedelic Art Les Paul or not? Leave your answer down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you tomorrow on the next episode. Take care.